everybody.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to Just One More Chapter. I am Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And thank you guys so much for sticking with the last two episodes.
Had some technical issues there.
We're so sorry. We did not want to refilm those.
Yeah,
So we just
exactly.
made it work.
Yeah.
Because that was terrible. So hopefully you won't have to deal with that in the future.
Yes.
Please follow us on all of our social medias, our Instagram, our TikTok, our YouTube. Check the description notes. We do have links. Our names off on every different platform do look different because unfortunately the name was taken.
Yeah.
So just check the description notes, click the link, and you'll be able to find us. We have a book club on Fable. And today is the book review.
Yes, Limerence.
Before I guess at the end of the episode, we can announce the next book.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
So we're just going to jump right in. Spoilers, if you have not read it, come back. And yeah, let's get into it. So prior to us picking it, have you ever heard of Limerence?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I haven't heard of the author either.
Me neither. I think this was her first book.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, I hadn't heard of this author before.
No, neither have
I was excited. It did have good reviews, so.
I think it came out this year. I think we said that. So let's just look her up.
I think 2024.
Oh, 2024?
I believe.
Let's see.
We'll check. We'll fact check that.
We'll fact check that. Let's give our review or our rating, and then we'll see if by the end of it if it stays the same.
Yes. I know typically we'll like go through the book and be like, well, actually, we're gonna dock a star here.
As we talk about this.
I gave it 4.5.
I'm going to double check. I think I did the same. I did 4.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I did 4. Yeah, me too.
It was a nice, it was twisty and fast paced. The romance in it was a slow burn, but I enjoyed it.
It looks like this is her first book.
Yeah.
And it looks like the second book comes out July.
Yeah, I was creeping her TikTok.
Were you?
Yeah, she gives us a few little hints towards the second book, so we'll discuss that too.
That's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I think the romance for this book was very slow.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't mind it.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I felt like the premise of the story was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And just like his character too, the way he is, it kind of makes sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For them not to be like in love right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't feel like rushed or forced.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's get into it.
Yes.
Well, we're immediately jumping into the 4th year of school for Poppy, and she has 1 year left.
Yeah.
And we find she's a scholarship student with another student named Mickey. And immediately you can tell that she's like an outcast.
Yeah, she's a loner. She sits by herself to eat lunch. She kind of listens in on other people's conversations.
Which it's so the fact that she can hear full on conversations. Are these girls talking super loud?
I know. I was like, okay, little eavesdropping moment.
So So we realize she's kind of like the outskirts of this school, and every year, which I find strange, every year they have to do a presentation to show that you deserve to be there.
I know. I thought that was weird too. Please keep me here.
Yes. These are my grades, and I'm still it
Yeah.
just seemed so posh
I
to be
know.
you have to show us why you deserve the scholarship.
Exactly. What?
Okay.
Ridiculous.
And it's kind of weird how, not weird, but it's kind of sad how Poppy only had Mickey as a friend, but he wanted nothing to do with her.
Yeah, exactly.
He was okay, we can do this presentation every year, and they plan it together.
Exactly.
But he's so obsessed with being
popular. Yeah.
that.
Because they were also kind of from that same class too, whereas Poppy and Mickey weren't from a rich family.
No.
So I figured
you'd think they'd bond.
Yeah, connect on that level, right?
Yeah. Stupid. Well, that night they're supposed to do the presentation, but unfortunately Mickey doesn't show up. Now we already know from the back of the book that he's gonna be
Yeah.
so
unalived.
unalived.
Yeah.
But the book immediately jumps into it.
Jumps right into it, which I liked.
Me too.
Got you hooked right away.
Yeah. And she's trying to figure out where Mickey is. So then she finishes the presentation, does a whole
Yeah.
little sob story.
Yes. And she also hints at, during this presentation, like she did something to get into lines with this boarding school, right?
Did you have any idea like what it could be?
I kind of thought she maybe killed someone.
Yes.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
immediately. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just morbid.
It's dark romance. Like, yeah, I thought like she did something like super shady like that to get in, but I had no clue.
Yeah,
No
me
hint
too.
of what it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first thought. I was like, oh, maybe she killed someone.
So she is annoyed and upset. And so she's going to go find Mickey, which I guess the boys and the girls are of different like dormitories.
Yeah.
And she goes into the boys section and sees, and before this, we do find out that Adrian, the
Yes.
main character, is like super popular. Everyone likes him.
Yeah.
The girls chat about him. So immediately you're like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what's up with Adrian.
He's the popular rich boy.
And she's like the shy, I don't talk to. Sorry.
Totally.
So she goes onto the floor and sees Adrian as she's going to Mickey's room. Okay, immediately you know what's up.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
He's-
It's him. Which I did not like Adrian at all, like in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we'll get into, but yeah, I just did not like him at all.
Yeah.
Up until like probably 50% of the book.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So what didn't you like about Adrian?
I just thought he was like stuck up, a bit of an asshole, but like it makes sense for his character. Do you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's not like, he's like a psychopath.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like,
He has a reason.
Yes.
Like it's not like he's just being an asshole being an
Yeah,
asshole. He has
exactly.
rewires in his brain.
Yeah. He's got issues.
He's a jerk, but he's also like nice.
Yeah.
So it's a weird mixture.
Yeah.
But
he
we
puts
also
on
find out-
that face, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, they like present themselves as being nice.
Yes.
Overly nice. So she goes into Mickey's room. I don't think she sees it disheveled, but she sees the window open and then looks out and Mickey's on the ground.
Yes.
So that's kind of like the first few chapters,
Yeah,
not
first,
even.
right at the beginning.
Yeah, immediately jumps right into it. She obviously has to talk to the detective because she saw someone and she's, as far as they know, the last person to be seen. And it's weird how she didn't like immediately think about Adrian to the
Yeah.
detective.
I
She does
know.
after.
Yeah.
But not immediately being like, oh, hey, I saw another student here.
I know. You figured like that would be in the forefront of your mind.
Yeah, but maybe you
But
are.
like it's like traumatizing. You literally just seen someone dead.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. And she's nervous around like law enforcement.
Yes.
So I was like, okay.
Wait, what's with that?
Which again, I was like, she killed someone to get into this school.
True. True. You're like, bingo.
Yeah.
The kids around school start to gossip, and Adrian comes in, and then this is where you like see that Adrian lied.
Yes.
He lies about being in the library.
Yeah. I was
And-
in the library all night. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is how Poppy's like, wait, I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
In her head, she's like,
Immediately it clicks.
yes. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
This is happening. Something's going on with Adrian. Why is he
Yes.
lying? But where he's been.
Exactly. And then they have the candlelight vigil for Mickey. Mm-hmm. And Poppy notices a mysterious girl in the crowd at this point, too.
Yeah, sees a girl crying. And I guess when she's been at the school for 4 years, you would see someone you've never seen before.
Yeah, exactly.
I could get that. And then a girl's actively like sobbing. When we already know as a reader that Mickey wanted to be popular, but he never fit in.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he was always trying.
Yes, trying
but
hard.
he was like, they treated him as like a charity case,
Yes.
basically, right?
But then, also Adrian, there was one scene in like the lunchroom where we know Mickey's in outskirts, but Adrian really made it a point to like, no, you can come sit with
Include
me.
him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was like, okay, I'm clocking that. And of course, the golden boy gives a speech. The mother's like crying, like
Yeah.
fawning over him. Bobby's
Yeah.
just like,
Sees right through
Yeah,
it. She's
yeah.
like, he's faking.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's crazy how she clocks that immediately. And then she gets the balls to confront him.
Totally.
I was not expecting
like,
that.
Damn, girl.
Yeah. Like,
Right off the bat. Like, never spoke to this guy before. And the whole time she's been at the school.
to
Yeah.
immediately be like, well, what's up with you?
Yeah. You weren't at the library.
Yeah.
I see you.
I don't know. I guess we don't really know much about Poppy's past, but for her to be like not really talking to anyone, for her to have that, not be shy.
Yeah.
To confront
be that
him.
brazen. Yeah. Just walks up.
Yeah. And he immediately like looks right at her, and it starts not to be like intimidating, but they have a height difference. So he towers over her, and she's just like, uh-oh, what am I doing?
Like, oh, looking up.
So now that she remembers that she saw Adrian, she wants to tell the detective.
Yes.
But the detective has been fired.
Fired? I was like, oh, girl.
Oh, no. So
Snap.
Obviously Mickey has something to do with it.
Oh, no. So she calls detective to report that Adrian was there that
Yes.
night. And they kind of bond over their
You're
their
right.
past.
He's not fired yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's not fired yet,
Yeah.
sorry.
So they bond over like because they grew up with like nothing basically. So they kind of bond over that. And she tells Poppy to like trust your gut on things like this.
Because I think she does like splurt out like I think Adrian's involved in Mickey's death.
Yes,
Like she
yeah.
tells the detective this.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
And she's like, don't tell anyone. Like, keep it quiet, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh yes, because then Adrian gets pulled out of class the next day, and you're like, here we go.
Yep.
They're gonna like interview him. And we're gonna know more information.
Yep.
And then we like get a call. Poppy calls her mom, and we immediately see that dynamic.
Yes.
Of how her mom's not a good mother
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, terrible. They have a very strained relationship.
Yeah.
I think her mom blames her for her teen pregnancy and
So fucked up.
yeah, I was like, okay, girl, you're the one who got pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. We find that there's just like a weird dynamic with Poppy's mom, and
Yeah.
then Poppy doesn't know her father.
Yeah.
And so she's always had stepdads in her life.
Yeah.
And so they had this weird relationship with this, what's his name?
Rick.
Rick. I was going to say Robert.
Rick the hillbilly.
Yeah. So immediately do not like the mom.
Yeah.
Don't like her. And like when she tries to open up to her mom, like, oh, hey, like someone died. I was like, I don't want to talk about that.
Don't talk about that with me. Like, you're my mom.
She's like, it's sad. I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the support,
I just
Mom.
witnessed, I've seen someone splatter on the floor.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
exactly.
support.
100%.
Ugh.
And then Poppy receives an invitation to one of Adrian's exclusive parties.
Which you already know it's because she knows something and he knows that she
Yeah,
knows something.
exactly.
Because she's never received an invitation ever.
Exactly. Or that she's ratted on him too, right?
Yeah, that's right. He's blown to the office.
I would be freaking out.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he wouldn't have known it was you.
Yeah.
If you didn't like confront him at the vigil.
Exactly. 100%.
So immediately he's like, well, now I know it's you.
Yeah. 100%.
But she doesn't want to go.
No.
She doesn't want. She knows she's gonna have to
Yeah.
he's gonna confront her.
Exactly.
So she does not want to go.
No. So she has an idea to sell her ticket.
Yeah, look at this.
Wait, what?
It's like a really exclusive party.
Yeah.
You're gonna get money off of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, wants to sell it to Freddie for money, and then like Freddie's being a total like, I don't have that money.
Yeah, it's like, boy, we know you're rich.
Yes.
Right?
So she, makes a smart deal. Like, hey, I want your backpack, but also give me cash for this
Yeah,
thing.
200 and a Burberry backpack.
She's slaying that. Like, hey, you want this?
You want this?
Come and get it.
Yeah, so she does get the backpack and the $200. And then when Poppy returns to her dorm later, there's another invitation waiting for her.
It's like a note.
Yeah.
You're like, how wait to see you.
Look forward to seeing you, Poppy.
Jesus Christ. Adrian's creepy.
He is creepy. That's why I didn't really like him in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then it kind of switched for me halfway through.
Yeah. Like it's nice where we're not like totally
Gunning for him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. He has to prove himself.
He's supposed to be a villain. Like,
Yeah.
That's how a villain should make me feel in a story.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. We know he obviously is dealing with, he's the murderer
Yeah.
of Mickey. We're
Yeah.
not supposed to like immediately want
Like him, yeah.
No.
100%.
So immediately you're like, I, as a reader, was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I was like nervous for
I
Poppy.
was nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, girl.
So, and then this is when we find out that the detective has been fired.
Yes, exactly. She chose to stay in her dorm that night, and she's sketching, and then she starts drawing Adrian's eyes.
Yeah, she like
She's like, oh god,
unintentionally.
and it freaks her out, so she decides to call the detective and finds out she's been fired.
Yeah. So you definitely know he has a powerful family.
Yeah.
He's controlling all of this.
Got a lot of pull.
Yeah. And
Right.
at the moment we know, Poppy isn't a popular student. She's not rich.
Yeah.
That there's a huge difference. You're like, oh no, how's this going to play out?
Exactly. So Mickey's case has been closed. It's been ruled a suicide. And Poppy is like, what the hell? She knows there's something else to it, right?
So she decides to go and investigate.
Yes.
Takes it upon herself to be like, well, look, the detective's gone. No one else knows anything. I have
Yeah.
to go find some like evidence.
Yeah.
So she goes to the party. Because she's not really well known, she can kind of like sneak her way through.
Yes.
And again, she has the balls to go to his study. I know. His study in this like mansion. Girl, you're pushing these limits.
Brazen.
But she doesn't know what she's looking for, and we don't know what she's looking for. And somehow, through his bookcase, comes across a journal, which she's flipping through the pages and finds out it's Mickey's journal.
Mickey's journal.
And it doesn't really say anything other than like one of the last pages where it says, I think Adrian Ellis is going to kill me.
I was shocked. Like, what?
And of course,
Immediately, Adrian walks in.
you're like, oh my God.
Oh my god, this is like tension.
And we know that he knows that whatever she's saying is just like a lie. She's like, oh, I didn't like see anything.
No. Yeah, she's trying to get out of it. Immediately. Sorry for snooping.
Immediately clocks her, and I don't know how she was going to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he does not want her to leave.
No.
Like, you know this.
He puts his hand around her throat.
Yeah, and starts squeezing
And
her.
squeezing. And then he asks, are you going to beg for your life? Which she replies, no.
Yeah.
Which I was like, what?
Yeah. How are you not like terrified? Like she's
Yeah.
terrified, but she's just saying things that like a character wouldn't say that you're
Yeah.
terrified.
Exactly.
And so she just thinks that she's going to be honest with him.
Yeah.
Like
she's like, I can offer you honesty. Which I was like,
I don't know. Okay. I found it weird that she says, I'm going to offer you honesty rather than just like saying it.
Yeah.
Because I have read before, like if you're in a situation that someone's going to hurt you, if you like tell them about your life and who you are, that you're going to connect with their human side and that they might spare you because of that. They know about you.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
That her being honest with him, he's like, wait, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I'll keep you around.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get that. But to say like, I'm going to give you honesty.
Just the way she said it, right? I was
Yeah.
like,
It's too on the nose.
yeah, exactly. So then Adrian does admit to killing Mickey in this moment.
Yeah, you have like there's no reason not to.
Yeah, exactly.
She's seen it. Like and plus he is thinking, or we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
That he is going to obviously like murder her.
Yeah.
But then now he says like, not right now. You
Yeah.
just become the most interesting thing on campus,
Yes.
Poppy Davis. Oh, which is even more terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she's freaking out that she's even alive.
Yes. She's like, how did I get out of this?
And she immediately goes to like researching him, knowing about who he is,
Yep.
his family.
Finds out he's an only child.
Which good on her. She's like, well, I'm still alive. I'm going to try and find the most information about you.
Yeah.
How I can figure out who you are.
Exactly.
Because she's obviously didn't care other than like he's just Adrian who walks past the halls and girls fawn over him.
And she finds out his family is far wealthier and more powerful than she initially thought as well.
Which as the reader, we already kind of knew that from how much power he had.
All the money he's like dropping.
Yes. Pay for this, pay for that.
Exactly.
And we kind of get to know other characters like Sophie,
Sophie, yeah.
who's like obsessed
With Adrian.
with Adrian. And then she goes on to say that night at the party while Adrian had the conversation with Poppy that Sophie and Adrian like kiss.
Yeah.
And were together all
They were
night.
together all night. Yeah.
And Poppy's like,
girl, I wish.
Right? I don't think that's what happened in her brain, in her
Yeah.
mind, because she's just overhearing.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
lunchroom must be like super small.
I know. Like, how are you hearing these intimate conversations?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he walks over in the lunchroom and sits with Poppy.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
Yeah. And Sophie actually does call him over at this point. So he's like, come sit with us. And he's like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. Obviously, Sophie was pissed.
Yes. But Adrian just wants to know more. He wants to know more about Poppy, and
Yeah.
Poppy's like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
And somehow they have a conversation about like art.
Yes, because he researched her as well,
That's
right?
right.
So he's like, I
Yes.
know you're an artist and you're very talented. And he wants to see her sketchbook. And he even offers to be a model for her sketches at this point, flirting with
really
her.
putting it on
He's
her.
like, you can dress me up or you can dress me down.
And like, I think he thinks that would like get in because every girl fawns over
Yes.
him.
Yeah.
But immediately Poppy's like, no,
No thanks.
I'm not interested.
Leave me alone. And he makes a plan to come see her that evening.
Does he see the sketchbook that evening or in the lunchroom?
No, that evening.
Okay.
Yeah. So after they kind of part ways, and Sophie goes to the bathroom. And I'm sorry, Poppy goes to the bathroom, and Sophie corners her. And this is kind of their first like interaction. She's clearly jealous about being snubbed by Adrian in the cafeteria, right? So she belittles her and mocks her for being like a poor scholarship student.
Yeah, and she doesn't
They
really
do have
fight
like
back.
a few of these interactions in the book.
They do.
Which Sophie at this point was just like, well, whatever, like leave me alone type deal, right?
Poppy.
Yeah, sorry.
Poppy was.
Names
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, like she definitely was like, whatever. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like fight with you.
Exactly.
Because she obviously doesn't think anything of
Yeah.
it. She's like, in her mind, she's like, Adrian's a psychopath.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with him.
Exactly.
So then, when does he take her?
So she
Sketchbook.
goes back to her dorm later that evening and she's kind of preparing. She has like a knife and she sets her phone on record for when he comes over.
Oh yeah.
So Adrian comes to her dorm and immediately starts asking her questions like about her SSATs and her grades because things aren't matching. He's like, you were at this genius level on your SSAT scores, but now you're in Lineswood and your grades are like C's, B's, you're
And you're
not
not
doing
from
that
here.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, and we still don't know
No.
about her. So
No.
we're like curious, huh? What's going on?
Exactly.
What is
So in this moment, she's kind of like, hey, well, here, take a look at my sketchbook. That's what you wanted to see, right?
Okay.
And she kind of realizes how like manipulative and charming he is because she's almost getting like, this reaction from him too,
Yes.
right? She's like, oh,
she's flustered.
Yeah.
But she's also wanting to stay back.
yes.
But she's having a hard time because he's still like slowly, without her really realizing,
Yeah.
pulling her in.
Exactly.
And she has to like snap out of it.
Exactly. And then he tells her she's not just good, she's incredible.
And he sees the
Yeah.
sketch that
Yes.
she made. And he's like, wait.
He's like,
These are my eyes."
These are my eyes. The eyes never lie. She's like trying to play it off, like, no,
Yeah.
anyone can have dark eyes.
Which is like, unless she's like she must be super talented at what he
Yeah.
says because I've seen photos where it's so realistic in his drawings.
Oh, totally.
So
You
I can
tell.
see. Yeah, I can see
Right?
how he's like, okay, these are mine.
Yeah, and this is kind of where he like comes into her face and is like touching her face for the first time, commenting on her freckles.
And like, I like how she's not like, no, step back.
Yeah.
I like how she is getting flustered because when
Yeah.
she does find him attractive.
Exactly.
And so she's not being one of those like, I'm different type of girls.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had this before. So
Exactly.
this is all new territory.
Exactly. And then she begins questioning him about Mickey in this moment too.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, do you think I'm dumb?
Yes.
And grabs the phone from her pocket and sees she's recording.
Which,
He gives a full confession like immediately.
yes.
He's like,
Didn't care.
I killed Mickey because I wanted his brain splattered on the concrete. And then he's like, and I slept like a baby after. Like, full psycho.
Go ahead. Take it to the police. You're like, holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I couldn't believe how forward he was.
Yeah.
But I loved it that he was still his intimidating person.
Yeah.
That it wasn't going to be like, she got the recording and now she has something over him.
Yeah.
I like it was like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're not going to scare me
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
I love that.
He's like 10 steps ahead, right? He then, after his confession, he deletes the recording, and basically she's like, I wasn't going to take it to the police. It was just for my own knowledge. Which, girl, come on.
I know. But he does say, he's like, I know when you're beaten. You know when you're beaten.
Yeah.
And I find it an admirable quality. Most people don't. So he likes how she's kind of on the same level with him.
Yeah.
And not being like full on prey.
Yeah.
She's like, she's not backing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But not fully.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he leaves. And then she realizes like, oh, he took my art.
Yeah.
My sketchbook.
Her sketchbook's gone.
It is a very private thing. Like, it's kind of like her diary.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Her sketchbook.
100%.
And now she's trying to go and find him to get that sketchbook back.
Yeah. And the swimming facility, I guess Adrian's a swimmer.
Yes, yeah. He is a swimmer, and she's trying to find him.
Yes.
Going into enemy territory.
Yeah. She sees him in the locker room shirtless. And then someone's like, you can't be in here. And he's like, no, she's with me. And this is where Poppy kind of gets this like, oh.
Yeah.
Her first like reaction, right?
Like he has power. Like she already knew it, but seeing it
Yeah.
firsthand, she's like, she found that attractive.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, okay.
And he's trying to convince her. She just wants her sketchbook back. She wants to leave. And he's like, come to my swim meet Saturday.
Yes.
She's like, why?
Exactly. And bring a poster.
Yes, bring a poster. And he teases her. He's like, if you don't come, I'm going to drop the sketchbook in the water.
Yeah.
And she's just like getting frustrated. He throws it at her and she falls in the water.
Yeah, she slips and falls in the pool. Yeah.
And
she can't swim. She's starting to drown. But Adrian jumps in and saves her.
He does wait a second.
Yeah,
she does has to panic.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, but we know that he's going to save her.
Exactly.
So he saves her, and I was like, well, come, you need to come.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she's already starting to feel like, okay, well, I'm outmatched here. I'm going to have to like do what he says.
Yeah. As soon as he pulls her out of the pool, though, I think her first words were like, I want to draw him, or she found him so attractive in that moment.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Very weird.
I was like, okay, that's the first thing that comes to your mind.
You're like imminent death, just like hyperventilating. You're like, oh, he's so attractive.
Yeah.
I need to draw him.
So funny. So, and then she attends the swim meet as promised.
Doesn't see him at first, but she brings the sign like he told her that she had to.
Yeah.
And what
Her sign.
her sign
Made me laugh.
I was like shocked by it.
I know.
I was like, what?
So brazen.
And then when she turned it around, I was like, this girl.
Yeah.
This girl's hilarious.
I know, I died.
I like it. So it's Adrian Ellis is a killer, flip over in the pool.
Yeah.
He
was mad.
I love it. She does not back down.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what? I'm going to make you squirm.
Exactly.
Just as much as you make me squirm.
100%. I love that.
It's hilarious. And of course, she's sitting behind the popular girls who are like fawning over him.
Of course.
And she spots that same girl that was at that Cedarville.
Yes.
And who's like upset attending this event. And she's just wondering, why is a girl crying at this swimming meet?
Who is this girl?
I need to go find her.
Yeah, so she follows her. And we find out that this is Liz, Mickey's girlfriend.
Yeah, which Poppy finds strange because she didn't hear about a girlfriend in the journal, which is fine. Kind of sneaks up on their conversation, gets caught. They get mad.
Yeah.
But then she's like, well, I don't really know Mickey, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
And then Liz is like, okay, well, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. She wanted to have a private conversation. So she offers her to go to a diner.
Yeah, they go and have some hash browns. Love hash browns.
Big fan.
And she learns more about Mickey.
Yeah. Liz tells Poppy that Mickey was acting paranoid in the days leading up to his death. he was about to receive a large amount of money. They were going to be good.
Yeah.
They were set for life.
Yes. And she's like, so you believe that? Liv's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I had no reason not to believe it.
Exactly.
And so then Poppy kind of clicks it like, whoa, maybe Adrian was like, they're a blackmailing
Yeah.
right? Situation
'Cause
going on.
Mickey had mentioned to Liz too about some journal that he had.
Yes.
Right?
And Liz was trying to be like, wait, do you know about it? And she goes, well, no, like,
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because
So
she was questioning her, and
Yeah,
Liz
she's
was like, well,
why
do
are
you
you
know
talking-
something?
Yeah. She's like, why are you asking me about this specific journal? Do you know
Suspicious.
something I don't know?
Yeah.
And she's trying to play it off like, nope, I don't know anything.
Exactly. So immediately Poppy's like, well, maybe Mickey was trying to blackmail Adrian.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I think is a great,
Yeah, makes sense.
makes sense. Where's this money coming from?
Yeah.
So she gets back to the meet. Doesn't see Adrian, or does she see Adrian?
She
swim?
does.
Yeah.
Adrian chases after her and asks, why didn't you congratulate me? This is also, too, I didn't really like him because he was so, like, high up on himself. I was like, fuck this guy.
Yes.
Right? And this is where Poppy kind of bites back and is like, well, I think Cam really deserves to be congratulated.
Yeah, I love that she's
Cam
trying
did
to push
great."
him down his
I
high
know,
horse.
push and pull,
The
right?
ego.
I loved it.
Yeah. Push that ego down.
Yeah, exactly. And then Adrian was visibly unimpressed with that.
That she's talking about another man.
He's like, Cam. Like, what the hell?
Which I love it because I don't know if it's like a trait of like a narcissist or someone who thinks they're so highly of.
Yeah.
That the moment you talk about somebody else, they're like, excuse you?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all about me.
Exactly.
So
I had the better time.
she's so smart for that.
Yeah.
She knew that would get under his skin.
Exactly. So after this, Poppy's quite stressed because she was supposed to be working on her schoolwork, but she had to go to the swim meet. So she's all stressed about her schoolwork and is unable to finish a history paper. So she heads into that class, and the professor's like, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Adrian told me about your circumstances.
We're really getting to see like the power
Yeah.
of that Adrian has. And I think this too is really probably starting to feel it too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
whoa, like he could really destroy me.
Yeah.
Like, and it's
In
weird.
an instant.
Yeah. Like, and she does feel like this is a nice gesture.
Yeah.
That like, whoa, okay, that's nice of him to do that. But like, we're really starting to see like how much influence this boy.
Yeah,
Because they are in high school, right? It's high school.
High school.
Yeah. So, okay. I mean, she does say thank you to him for that.
Yeah, she does.
And then we find out there's like a Saint Benedict dance.
Yes.
That men ask the female via roses.
Exactly.
And the most roses you get is just kind of like a token of like their appreciation for you. And yeah, we overhear Sophie being like, well, Adrian's going to give me a bunch of roses.
Yes. He's going to take me. And then fall break is also approaching.
So
Yeah. So Poppy's excited. She can't afford to go home, so she's staying on campus.
yeah, she's going to enjoy like all of the other kids being gone.
Yeah.
It's going to be quiet. She can catch up on the work that she hasn't been catching
Yeah.
up on.
Exactly.
And she heads to the library. And guess who she sees?
Surprise, surprise. Adrian.
Which I thought that was kind of weird too.
Yeah.
Like why is he there?
Yeah.
Why hasn't he?
Because she also overheard him talking to Sophie, being like, oh, I'm going away with my family type deal, right?
Are you going to go to Dubai or
Yeah.
whatever? Like
somewhere extravagant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we probably comes across Adrian because she's trying to get a book for a research paper.
Yeah.
And like Adrian's all like grumpy.
Yeah.
And like kind of like rude.
irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Brushing
and,
her off, basically, right?
and then like she's clearly like not upset with that, but she's like, whoa, like I want to cheer him up.
Yeah. I know.
What'd you think about that?
I was like, oh, but she did bring up how like her mom used to do that to her too. So I think, yeah, because her mom used to like, so she felt like she needed to make it right.
Oh,
Right?
well, that's sweet of her.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, well, hey, do you want to go for a bite to eat? and asks him to go eat.
Yeah, because his stomach grumbles. And she's like, "Oh, you're hungry."
Well, you can see, like, she's obviously wanting to get to know him more.
Exactly.
And she's really kind of forgetting that he is a murderer.
Yeah, exactly.
You really have no evidence.
Yeah.
He killed Mickey. But you're a teenager, so they kind of bond.
Yes.
Bond over the fact that they both have like shitty parents.
Yes, exactly.
And that, Adrian won that swim meet, but it's what was bugging him was the fact that like it wasn't good enough for his father.
Yeah, the time wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Which is like craziness.
And she, she tries to get information out of him. He gives her a little crumb, and like vice versa, and she gives him a little crumb.
Exactly.
So I kind of like the fact that we're not like fully give him a whole life story.
Yeah, exactly. A little tit for tat.
Yes. And he manipulates her to spend more time with him.
Exactly. This is a running theme, is manipulation.
Which I kind of like that he's still using, like, he's still not a good person.
Yeah.
He's still using something over her.
Yeah.
It's not just like she's giving in.
Exactly.
She's being forced still.
Yeah.
And she's willing.
Yeah, exactly. She's
But-
like, fine.
I like how he's not like completely changed person.
Yeah. Exactly. So he takes her to the pool to teach her how to swim. Since she almost drowned.
Which is nice. He's a swimmer.
Yeah.
Teaching her how to swim. Getting all close.
The first time he whispers, "Good girl." I was like, okay.
She's like,
She's all flustered.
you would be though.
Obviously.
Like, you find him attractive.
Yeah.
He's being nice to
You
you.
guys are like half naked in a pool.
Yes. And he is being sweet, teaching her how to swim.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was cute. This is a cute interaction. And but then this is where we see like
His craziness afterwards.
like he's still who he is. And he's like threatening. She's like baby, like what is it called? Like when you're just kind of like treading water?
Yes.
She's treading water and he's just out of the pool.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, so you think Cam?"
Yeah, exactly. Because she's trying to get to the other side of the pool, but she can't. She starts freaking out and panicking. And basically, he's like, "Oh, well."
Confronts him with the Cam
this
situation.
Cam situation.
Oh, Cam should be
It's too
here.
bad Cam's not here to save you.
I honestly loved
oh
that.
my God.
I loved that scene.
So funny.
It was a good just showing you like there still is. He's still not a good person.
Yeah.
He still has this over you. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this
Me
scene.
too.
It was funny. But then he does bring her out.
He does, yeah. And then she pushes him in the pool afterwards too, right?
Cute. And they go back to his dorm room.
Yeah.
Which is like her excuse, like, oh, he has like the better shower.
Yeah, I think the showers in the girls' locker room were broken or something.
Yeah, I
so
can't
she had to
remember.
use his, something along those lines.
Yeah, of course.
And this is where she notices scar cream, medical grade scar cream.
Yeah.
In his bathroom.
Because at the pool, she did notice at the back of his ankles had like scars.
Scars, yeah.
Which was like, whoa, it's very obvious to see someone who has
Yeah.
scars on them.
Yeah.
And yeah, she sees like really heavy medical grade
Yeah.
scar cream.
Which I was like, I thought maybe he was self-harming. That's what
Yeah.
I had originally thought.
Yeah.
When the scars were brought up, right?
Yeah, I thought that too because one, it's hidden.
Yeah.
It's your feet.
Your ankle.
And I know sometimes people who, I don't know, sorry, I shouldn't say that, but I could think in reading some books, people who self-harm
Yeah.
want to keep feeling the hurt.
Yes.
So I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe it's because you're constantly moving your feet. You'd feel it all the time.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw that too. They keep, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
They keep hang, they kind of like jumps
Yeah.
weeks, right? Because it's like was it like 10 days the
Yeah, I
vacation?
think so. It was a couple weeks. Or
Yeah.
something along
Out of
those
school.
lines.
So
Yeah.
we know they keep hanging out. We know that they keep having swim lessons.
Yes, they go to movies.
Yes, they're going to move, which that's a big jump
Yeah,
from.
a little date.
Yeah, someone calls it a date, and I think she corrects him, but he doesn't say
He doesn't
anything.
say anything,
Corrects
no.
like the till person.
Yeah,
Which is cute. So yeah, you're starting to see like they're kind of create. I don't know if it was like a friendship from his point of view. Obviously, she's being like forced to do this.
Yeah.
I think for her, she's like, well, I don't know if we're friends, and I think he was just like kind of keep your enemies closer
Yes.
type of situation.
Yeah, that's what I got from it too.
Yeah.
But they do start like opening up more too in the time that they're spending together, right? Adrian talks about how Sophie only wants him for his like wealth and social status, right? Because both of their families are wealthy, and that's basically what they do is they get together and they're just wealthy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
Not for who he truly is.
no. And they talk about like where they want to go after Lionswood.
Yeah.
And you want to know like where he's going, where she's going.
Yeah, he says he wants to be a doctor, and Poppy is shocked by this.
Yeah.
Like, you want to save lives, but you're a killer.
Totally.
Right? It's a little juxtaposition there.
And she wants to get a fine arts degree.
And she kind of expects him to laugh because I think that's what her mom's always done is laugh at her about her art, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, wow, I think that's great.
Yeah. He doesn't find it ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he definitely brings up, and she brushes off the fact that like, well, you must be really smart since you got in here. Like he's trying to be like, how did you get into the school? And
he
she's
doesn't
like,
know how. Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, and they're enjoying it. She's enjoying his company and almost starting to trust him a little bit.
And then he's like, oh, we're opening up like friends. And she's like, friends? That word hits me, like punches me in the gut. And then she's like, whoa, is that what we become?
Yeah.
Like, and she's like shocked by it. She's like, whoa, I'm like becoming friends with you.
It's
And
weird.
you're a killer.
Yeah.
And she's like, she thinks she should feel awful about it, but she's actually enjoying herself with him.
Yeah,
So she's having
exactly.
that moral compass issue.
Totally. And then Poppy's basically like, I need to get my paper done. Like, enough is enough. Can't mess around anymore. I got to get schoolwork done. So Adrian brings her a coffee while she's finishing her paper and sees her set up her old ass laptop. And he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she wants to be left alone. He can't help it. Brings her coffee and was like, okay, well, your setup's horrible.
Atrocious.
Come do in my dorm room.
Yeah.
And work on my computer. And she's like, well, like he's not going to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Exactly.
So I better just do what he says.
Yeah.
And yeah, goes back to his room and
Finishes the paper quite quickly because he's got a nice laptop. And I think Adrian gets a call from his mom and he's basically like, hey, I got to step outside for a moment. And Poppy can't help herself and starts snooping again.
starts snooping. This girl.
I was like, girl, what are you doing?
Yes.
Go walk in at any moment.
So we already know that she's not going to probably find the journal again.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would take that, put that away.
Yeah,
Right. So
exactly.
I don't know what she's looking for.
Yeah.
What she expects to find. But
She does find something.
she was like, okay, maybe I should just go back to working, closes a drawer, and then she finds it odd how it like sounds different.
Yeah.
Is this girl like a detective or
Yeah,
something?
I
Like,
know. How
she's
do you
like, I
know
know how
this?
drawers should
So
sound like.
intuitive.
So intuitive.
And in this secret compartment, she finds a journal. She starts reading these entries, which is describing severe childhood abuse.
Ooh. It was so sad. Mommy is mad at me. Daddy is too. I don't know what I did wrong. I fell and it hurt and I cried. I don't want to be down here. It's dark and scary. Oh, how many don't even know it's
I know.
him?
I was like, oh my God, this explains everything.
So sad. And he's like
Right?
saying mommy and daddy. So you know like
I
he's
know.
a young boy.
Yeah.
Whew.
Brutal.
Yeah. And she just, she reads it and she just gets the super creeps over it. And
Yeah,
but she
it's-
doesn't stop reading it.
No, she reads basically the whole thing.
Oh, God.
And then Adrian walks in
Yeah.
and catches her.
And he's like, did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you read. Did you enjoy it? Oh, God.
Brutal.
He's like, well, you read it. Like, you know?
Yeah, and then he kind of tells her that's why he killed Mickey.
Yeah, he's like, do you know what I did to the last person who read my journal?
Exactly. And he explained that Mickey tried to blackmail him for money, right? Threatening to go to the press with the journal.
Yeah, he didn't know he took it until the fact that he's like, give me $1 million.
Yeah,
or I'm
because I
gonna
think
take
Mickey
it.
took it by accident. He was taking some books off of his shelves and accidentally.
Because I think it does look the same as Mickey's
As
journal.
Mickey's journal,
So
yeah.
it makes sense of why he took it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Amelia wants to blackmail him and yeah.
Yeah. And then he kind of explains like how he killed Mickey, he just strangled him.
And she's wondering why he's telling her everything. Like, she's like, okay, well, he's going to kill me because why are you divulging everything that you just did?
Yeah, exactly.
And then she knows that, like, from him telling her, he also tells her that he enjoys it.
Yeah, exactly. He loved it.
You read my journal. You've seen who I am. You know all about me now, don't you, Poppy? And she's like, Jesus Christ. Scary. But she's not pleading for her life.
No.
She's just like, just standing there.
And then
my God.
Yeah, he's basically strangling her, and Poppy saves herself by revealing her own secret. Right?
Yeah, she's like, well, you don't have to kill me unless I tell you something that would just damage me as well.
Yes, you can have something over me.
Yeah, and she also tries to like, always tries to make him help him, being like, well, you know, didn't deserve what your family did to you.
Yeah.
And she's trying to
Make him feel better.
Yeah.
You didn't deserve it.
and he's immediately like, I don't need your pity.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh shit. Oh God.
Sorry.
Damn.
So yeah, she explains to him that she cheated on the SSATs to get into Lionswood and would lose her scholarship if anybody found out. And she would owe a bunch of money too, I believe.
Yeah, she just explains that like there's like a clause that you have to pay back all of the money, which is $846,000.
Yes.
Not including her room and board. And she knows the exact number because it's like it's over her head. She's
Yeah.
worried about this.
Exactly.
And yeah, she's like, you like, do you see, like, you can ruin my life? Like, I won't say anything about you. You don't say anything about me. I don't have money to pay this
Yeah.
back.
Exactly.
Which I think is a great, as what anything she could have come up with. I think that's like a good
The
bargain.
smartest. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. They both have like a mutual secret over each other now, right?
And yeah, he agrees to it. He's like, okay, I guess I will keep you alive.
Yeah. For now.
For now.
And then the dance proposals begin.
She doesn't see him for the rest of that break after the
Yeah.
interaction.
Yeah.
And yeah, she forgets all about the proposals.
Yeah.
And starts to see everyone else having their roses. And he walks over to her.
Yes.
And he's like, I want to watch this. And talking about like Sophie's locker.
Sophie didn't get the proposal.
Not the one she wanted.
No, she was pissed.
He like, it was Tristan Bell, just like another student.
Yes.
And I think like Mickey like put it in her locker. Was it like he put it in her locker and like wanted it to be someone else? No, not Mickey. Sorry, Adrian. My God.
I'm not
Yeah, he pissed. Yeah, I think because Tristan Bell, however, doesn't seem to have any idea he's the consolation prize.
Oh, yeah, because like he would probably just assumed like she picked him, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, I think you succeeded in pissing her off. He said, it goes good.
And this is when Poppy opens her locker, and she has a rose in there.
I thought it was going to be Adrian.
So did I.
Right?
I did too. Yeah, I figured. You know,
But no,
it's Freddie Rook.
the guy who she got the backpack from.
Yes, which is weird.
Very weird.
Like, didn't notice her all this time, but okay.
Well, like she did mention when she was doing the whole, trading that she did find him attractive.
Yes.
He was like a nice,
cutie.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just funny. I just thought it was going to be Adrian.
Yeah. And Adrian just kind of walks away. He doesn't say anything. He just immediately storms away. And then later in class, Adrian invites Poppy to an art exhibition.
Yeah, you could tell that he's like annoyed. He's like, you really want to go to this dance?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, no, like, I wanted to go with Freddie.
Yeah.
know?
She's like, no one has asked me in 4 years.
Exactly.
Finally, a boy has asked me. And
He's trying to take that away, right?
yeah, you're like, you're trying to take that away from this. Means this is my moment.
Exactly.
And he's trying to be like, ugh, you don't want to go to it.
No.
Let her have her moment, dude.
And then basically he's like, well, I'll take you then.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's like, well, no, like I don't want you to do it for as a favor because I think he brings that up like, oh, I'm doing you a favor by taking you, right? And she's like, no, I don't want it done as a favor.
Yeah.
I want to go with Freddie because Freddie's interested in me. He actually likes me, right?
Yeah, and he's like, well, I don't get the appeal from him.
Clearly jealous.
Yeah. And then he's like, he gets angry. He's like, no, then go with me then. And she's just like,
No thanks.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one wants to go be a pity
Yeah.
date with
Exactly.
anybody. She's like, someone
100%.
actually wants me.
Yeah.
Like, can I not want to want that?
Exactly. 100%.
God.
And then in the next class, there's a huge public display.
And yeah, shocker.
Adrian brings in Adrian has florists bring in two like huge bouquets of roses and basically is like, go to the dance with me.
Totally like undermining Freddie's like couple roses.
Right?
Oh God. Well, but she also gets flustered. She's also like really.
Yeah.
She's like, whoa, like this is for me.
Yeah, he's like, what? She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And basically, he's like manipulating her again. Like, if you don't say yes, I'll make a big scene, and
But she does
people will
enjoy-
hate you. Essentially,
Yes.
Yeah.
There is that aspect, but she also is like flattered.
yes,
Even though she feels like it's a pity thing, she is
Yeah.
flattered he's doing this for her.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, he goes, what the F are you doing?
Yeah,
And then everyone's like waiting. He steps closer and like whispers to her. He's like, because I see you now. He breathes so quietly. I know I'm the only one who hears. So say yes, or I'll make a scene so bad this entire room will be begging for your expulsion the day that is over.
yeah. Like, okay. So clearly, she says yes.
Yeah, she again has, like you said, manipulated. Has no choice.
Yeah,
To say yes. And she goes about her class.
yeah. And then afterwards, Poppy pulls him aside to confront him. And then Adrian kind of confesses he likes her, and she's been making him feel things he's never has felt before. And he admits to fantasizing about hurting Freddie because of jealousy. Like, he's like, I saw the way you looked at him when he gave you the rose.
He's getting very possessive.
The possessiveness is starting.
And we already knew this, but he does admit that, like, he's like, I was going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I invited you to that party.
Yeah.
And when you read Mickey's journal, I was like, oh, I need to kill you.
Yeah.
But then he's just like, yeah. And he's like, you started talking and you were honest, terrified, but honest. I like the combination on you quite a lot. And I couldn't help myself. I was interested and I wanted to poke and prod at you and see what to do next.
Like, what?
Yeah, he gets mad. Like you said, he was like getting mad about Freddie. But he's also getting mad that he thought that display of affection was pathetic.
Yeah.
That was his word. Poor boy was
It's
trying to do
like,
something.
okay. Like, oh.
He's like, I like you, sweetheart. I like you a lot. We're not friends. We're going to be more than that.
Yeah, you're mine now. Poppy kind of tries to draw the boundary though here. She says she only wants to be friends, you know?
Yeah.
She fears what might happen if they do start a romantic relationship. Right?
Yeah, he cuts in. We could be perfect together. She says, until you decide we're not.
Yeah.
Which is totally true.
Exactly. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you're a murderer.
We get into a little fight. Like,
You could be like,
Dunzo.
exactly. She knows he could snap her and
Any moment.
Any moment. That she's like, well, like, this is nice, but I'm going to be terrified of you until the day that you're like,
Yeah.
nope, I
Exactly.
don't want you no more. Which is, hey, you know, totally fair and rational thinking of her.
So basically, Adrian's like, you're mine now, and promises there's perks to being with him.
Yeah. She's like, a relationship built on a foundation of blackmail and secrets. And yeah, she's like, okay, she just knows this is going to end super badly for her.
And then afterwards, she immediately starts getting that special treatment, right? So the professors and her classmates start treating her differently,
Yep.
treating her with respect, and she's starting to see the benefits of being seen with Adrian.
Immediately, just being known a pick for him, everyone's like you said, pining out, wanting to be her friend,
Yeah.
calling her, oh, she's so like natural and
Yeah.
like effortless.
Yeah,
And
commenting on her hair and da-da-da-da-da. And then she goes back to her dorm later, and she finds a designer dress and shoes with a note. One of the benefits of being mine.
Oh, I honestly, from what we find out about Adrian, I felt like his interest in her is genuine.
Yeah.
And this is the way he shows his affection is that like, well, I like you. I've told you, you know who I am.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to shower you
Yeah,
with
exactly.
gifts because
He's got the money and the power.
and as much as she loathes that, she is enjoying
She's enjoying it. Like,
being an outcast for 4 years
Yeah.
and finally someone notices you. Yeah, you know the darkest secrets of them.
Yeah.
And they do know one about you as well.
Exactly.
And he's now just trying to treat her nicely,
Yep.
even though you are seeing like psychotic behavior from him.
So then basically it's the night of the dance. Poppy's all dolled up and having her like fairy tale moment, right? Because she's never been to one of these dances before. So she's all dolled up, and Adrian's kind of revealing a softer side, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "You look beautiful tonight." He has a poppy on his coat, which I thought was so
Yeah,
cute.
That's so cute.
Right? Champagne is being served, which like it's not supposed to be because they're in high school.
Yes.
But Adrian's like, well, we like, what do? They have someone switch it out or something like that, right?
Typical teen like movies and things, you know.
Exactly.
They
And then
always-
they share a dance. And then Poppy heads to the bathroom, and she has her first like real encounter with Sophie too, where Sophie's like, "How did you get him?
Yeah.
What did you do?" Right?
Yeah.
And Poppy's like, "What are you talking about? Like he likes me, sort of thing." And you know, and then she starts to dig at Sophie a little bit, and she's like,
Yes.
sarcastically responds, "He wanted a charity case." Because that's basically what she said the other encounter that she had with Sophie, right?
Using the words and pushing it back in her face.
Yeah. And then she's like, "You can have everything, Sophie. You can be everything, Sophie, except poor." Which I was like, yes, girl, get it.
Yeah, I like how she's not, talking to a girl about like her looks or how she acts.
Yeah.
She's talking about like personality
Yeah.
and how she carries herself. But also in the back of Poppy's mind, she's like, you do not want to be in Adrian's radar.
If you only knew.
Yeah.
100%. So Sophie storms out, and Adrian's speaking to the dean, and the school auction begins, which is why they're holding this dance, I believe,
Yeah, it's a dance, but it's also like an auction
for the school.
Yeah, where they like it's like a fundraiser, right? Like
Yeah.
all the money goes to the school.
Exactly. So Poppy spots like a travel roll for her paintbrushes. She goes to bed but can't afford it. So
And Mister, he's like not next to her.
No.
But she's getting outbidded, and then she finds that like he did this for her. He bought it for her.
yeah, Mr. Freddie.
Which is super cute.
And then he asks her to dance in exchange for it, right? And this is when Adrian comes in. He's like, well, what do we have here?
Again, showing his dominance of like, nope, you can't be like talking to anyone.
Yeah.
No one can be like interested in you.
The possessiveness, right? And then as Poppy and Adrian are walking away, Freddie shouts, "You look beautiful tonight, Poppy." And this is when Adrian snaps.
Whoa.
Starts pummeling Freddie. A huge scene breaks out.
And somehow Adrian like complains like, "Oh my god, I think someone spiked the
Immediately
the-
starts blaming it on the champagne.
Yes.
Like, okay.
And Poppy is seeing how everyone's just like blindly being like, oh, you're right.
Totally.
Who did this?
Who did this? Yeah, the dean.
Yeah. And she's
Right?
like, whoa, everyone just believes you. And like, no one's seeing the facade that you're putting on.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, they blame it on alcohol. Like he's drunk. I'm a little tipsy. I don't know what's gotten into me.
Yeah.
Which is a great excuse.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
People would believe
Don't
that.
feel right. I was like, oh my God. So the dean's like, hey, go clean up in my bathroom. And this is when they're walking to the bathroom, or are they in the bathroom? They have their first intimate moment.
I think it's in the
bathroom,
I think it's in
right?
the bathroom.
And
Yeah.
They start making out.
Yeah, he like aggressively like takes her.
Yes.
And she's like, whoa, oh my God.
Which she doesn't mind because she's feeling this too, right? Like
Yeah.
she's been having this.
The built up, you know.
The tension.
I know, and they go at it.
They go at it.
They are kissing. And you could tell like how it's not like it's aggressiveness, but how much like he really wanted this.
Yeah.
You could tell from the way he's like touching her and giving her a hickey.
He gave her a hickey, right? And then she kind of realizes that he did it intentionally to like mark her. Mm-hmm. Basically, he's like, yeah, well, other people need to see her mind clearly, referring to like Freddie. Mm-hmm.
But then also she's just thinking like, hey, he's just being sweet with that, like arching that for me. And Adrian's like, he's not being sweet.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Do you really think why he's just giving that to you? And she's like, what? Like,
yeah, he's just a nice guy. And he's like, no, he's trying to get into your pants.
Yeah. Which, fair.
Yeah.
Is true.
True. We'll give him that.
She's like, I know what you're trying to do. He goes, what is that? You're trying to manipulate me, trying to make everyone else seem like the bad guy, so you look like the lesser of two evils. It's not working. Whatever Freddie's intentions might have been doesn't erase what you did. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
He's like, right now, I'm your bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a bad guy, but I'm your bad guy.
And then he starts like, okay, he starts to be like, you could have said something.
Yeah.
You could have intervened when I was doing that.
Exactly.
But you didn't.
But you
You like that I was a little bit aggressive and like wanted to be like, you're mine. She's like, whoops.
She's like, oh, maybe.
Shit, I guess you're kind of right.
Exactly.
Calls her on her shit.
Totally.
But also, what is she going to do? She could have been saying stop it, but it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
But it's true. She is having those inner thoughts.
Yeah.
Of like, you know, oh, this is bad, but I am like
She does not. Yeah, exactly. She's not doing anything.
Yeah, and then they're starting to realize that like they kind of fit. He's messed up.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind. They're starting to realize like, well, maybe we're kind of good for each other.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But she's still not buying it.
And then, yeah, winter break's approaching after that. Poppy's stressed about her grades, and Adrian kind of brings up her scholarship to ask her how she cheated her way into Lionswood, and she kind of deflects this question. She doesn't tell him how she did it, right?
No. Still doesn't want to give that information to him. She's still very nervous about that, and also doesn't want him to have all of her cards. And they talk about like, hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, like, what are we doing for winter break? And she's like, well, I'm going home to see my mom. Like, I don't know about you.
She's like, I need some space. Like,
Yeah, she needs space to clear her head, right?
yeah, I got to go back. You go back. And yeah, they just kind of talk to each other about. Well, he's like, well, I should meet your family, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Now is a good time as any, and it'll give me a good reason to shirk my family. I don't know what that means. SHIRK. Shirk my family for the holidays. Don't know what that means. But like, so yeah, so you're seeing like he does not want to go back to his family.
Obviously.
She wants space. And he's like, oh, I should meet your family. We're something now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she goes away.
Yeah, she goes back to Mobile, Alabama.
Alabama. And we get to see the dynamics with Rick and her mom.
Yes.
So yeah, we immediately don't like Rick.
Yeah, Rick's an asshole. Immediately she's like, go clean the dishes and clean the house, bring me a beer.
Yeah,
it's like, asshole.
Immediately barking to do orders.
Yeah.
And she's just like doesn't not want to deal with it.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever, I'll
Yeah.
just do what you guys say.
Exactly. So
Which is horrible.
He's like, he's out in the garage. He's like, bring me a beer. She brings him a beer out in the garage and sees Ian Creasy.
Ooh.
And then she's starting to panic, like, internally. We don't really know why at this point.
Yeah, we don't know why. I didn't. What did you think what it was?
Immediately, I was like, oh, that's the boy. She cheated.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think maybe that was my
Yeah.
first thought too.
Because, like, why was she having this reaction, right?
Yeah, and she's immediately trying to ask him like, what is he doing
Why
here?
is he here?
What's
Yeah.
going on? And she's like, oh, they're just working together.
Yeah,
He's helping him with something.
Exactly.
And she's just like, I don't like this.
Yeah. Then at the end of that chapter, she said she didn't expect to see the boy whose life she ruined. So that's why I was like, oh,
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Uh-oh.
And then, yeah, so her mom finally comes back. Because her mom was still working when she first arrived, I believed. Right? And yeah, she starts asking her mom about Ian, like, why is he here? What's he doing here? And then she's like, oh, didn't you guys go to school together? And then we kind of get the background, like, they did go to school together. They didn't ever have any classes together. They never spoke to each other. And
Yeah, it says how many times Ian's over here. He's been helping him a lot. Why are you so interested in him? Which is true. Like, why are you asking all these
Why asking
questions?
all these questions, right?
And then she's like, I wasn't expecting to find a teenage boy lurking around the garage. That's all. Which is, fair.
Yeah. And then after this, Poppy tries to spend as much time in her room, right? She's trying to, like, just stay in her room, stay out of, like, the drama, right?
Do not want to come across Ian at all.
She hasn't heard from Adrian at all since arriving home,
No.
which was surprising.
She obviously wanted to hear from him, but she didn't want to be the one to text him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Out of the blue.
her mom's like, Rick thinks that you're doing drugs.
We need to have a chat.
What the fuck is with this
Like,
fucking
what?
Rick guy?
Okay, Rick. And immediately Poppy's like, well, I'm going to find the cigarettes and hide them.
I love
Little
those.
payback moment.
Yes.
Right?
She's like, I can't do anything, but I can get rid of the
Yeah,
cigarettes.
exactly.
Love this for her. So if you're going to say I'm on drugs, I might as well take yours.
Exactly.
It's so funny. She's hilarious.
So she heads out to the garage to go find Rick's cigarettes, and Ian's there.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Right?
And they have an interaction. She's
Yeah,
just like, oh, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah. Ian's like, oh, you're Poppy, right? And she's kind of freaking out internally, right?
Yep, she's just trying to get out of that as quickly as possible. And she's like, just don't say anything to Rick
Yeah.
that I was here.
Yeah.
Like,
He asks where she goes to school. Poppy tells him she goes to Lionswood.
he's like, oh, yeah, Pop. She's like, oh, Poppy, you're Poppy Davis.
Yeah.
We went to school together, didn't we? She's like, yeah, I guess we did.
So yeah, Poppy tells him she goes to Limewood because he asks where she goes to school. And then Ian's kind of shocked. He's like, wow, like, how did you get into that school?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
what?
He's like, he said he tried to go to get in. He took the SSATs and thought he aced it, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's getting flustered. He's like, you have to like take the SATs. What was the application like? He's like, I'm trying really hard to get into it for a few years. She's like, oh well, yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry, Ian.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you didn't get in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And he also explains that during his exam, a girl had a severe allergic reaction. An ambulance was called. And Poppy's kind of relieved. She's like, wow, he doesn't remember I was there too.
And he really pushes this conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so surprised, like, anyone from Mobile got in.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty damn impressive. Like, he's like, I thought I was a shoo-in.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh shit, does he know? Oh no. And yeah, she's just trying to console herself in her mind. She's like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Like, oh my God. Like, she's full on. I'm in shit. I need to get out of here. And then, yeah, she has this conversation with Rick and her mom about drugs.
Like, okay.
Yeah, another, like, annoying stepdad shit.
Yeah.
Being, like, trying to turn the mom against him.
And then Adrian shows up.
Yeah, gets her out of that conversation. Becomes, like, her white knight.
Yes.
Shows up. Her mom is immediately being, like, a weird, creepy old woman. Like,
I know. Oh,
you're so handsome. Ew.
And Poppy's like, don't look at him like that. He's mine.
Yeah, gets immediately like, ew, mom, like, go away.
Like, frig
Like,
off. Yeah.
And Adrian puts on his Adrian charm. Starts charming them on.
Turns it up. And then when they're finally alone, Poppy's quite upset. Like, what are you doing here? Right?
Yeah, you know
Like,
what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing
Exactly.
being here. Like, stop it. She's like, I wanted space, and you're not respecting that.
Exactly. He tells her he came because he missed her. And Poppy's like, well, I needed that space.
Yeah.
And then she kind of opens up to him here too, right? She says she's unsure how to have a relationship without solid ground, or having a relationship with this black male kind of vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
And then he admits he admits that he's terrified. He doesn't know how to do this part without having control.
Yeah, he thrives on that control, and even just giving her a couple weeks to herself, he could not handle
He
it.
couldn't do it.
No. And you're like, okay, well, he really likes her. I think he likes her more than just the whole blackmail.
Yeah.
You know about me. And yeah, they're both having a hard time coming to that conclusion in both of their heads.
Exactly. Poppy says she's also scared. She doesn't say of what, but we also get that vibe. Like, I think she thinks, like, he could ruin her. You know what I mean? Like, heartbreak-wise.
They can ruin each other. And I like this line where it's like, I can't feed you a line. I can't curate a version of myself that you'll respond to because you already know exactly who I am. And it's why I'm so drawn to you. And he's like, I don't know what to do with these feelings.
Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
poor boy's never had feelings.
And they kind of reconcile after that, and Adrian reveals he's already made sleeping arrangements for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, taking control. But yeah, then we find more. We find more about, Poppy and her mother, how she's kind of, popping between different stepdads and never really had like a solid ground.
Yes. So yeah, they head off to this luxurious hotel room Adrian has booked for them. He kind of starts questioning Poppy about her post-Lionswood plans, and she tells him she wants to go to Pratt. That's always been her dream school. And he's like, well, why don't you come to Harvard with me?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think I could even get in there. Right?
Clearly see that he's trying to like push her to come with him, you know?
And then he's like, assures her, not to worry, my family is really close to like the president of Harvard. Basically tells her to just think about it.
And they go to dinner. All of them go to dinner.
Yes.
Weird, awkward situation. He wanted to like take a trip, take him on an airplane.
Go fly to Paris or some shit.
And she's
I
like,
don't
okay,
remember.
no, you're not doing
Yeah,
that.
no thanks.
You're crazy. Just do like a steakhouse. We're
Yeah.
good for a steakhouse.
Exactly.
And even at this dinner, you can see how the mother always tries to put down
Yeah.
Poppy. If
The
anything,
backhanded compliments and
Yeah.
like weird,
just
telling stories that embarrass Poppy and,
I hate that.
Yeah.
And she still goes like, oh, like your art is lovely, you
Yeah.
know, but you gotta do something else.
Yeah, exactly.
And he like totally stands up for her.
Yeah, he does.
You
And
know?
then he also brings up, oh, well, Poppy's going to go to Harvard. And the mom is like completely shocked, right?
And she's shocked.
Yeah, and
Poppy's
Poppy's like, what the hell? I haven't decided yet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I've applied for more than just Harvard.
Yeah,
She's just like,
exactly.
it was cute. He's seeing how horrible the mother is
Yeah.
and just being like, no, you're not going to talk to Poppy like that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Standing up for her, I thought was really cute.
Yeah. It's-
And then Poppy escapes to the bathroom to get a breather away from her mom. And her mom follows her.
oh my God. This interaction.
They have an explosive fight in the bathroom.
Yeah, the mother's just being like, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're just using him for his money.
Yeah.
She's like, what the
She's like,
fuck,
no,
Mom?
like we have a future together.
Yeah, like he
Right.
likes me for me, and I'm not doing that for his money.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's such a like you obviously see where the mother's coming from.
Yeah.
That, like she's never had a man interested in her
Yeah.
for just her. So
Exactly.
of course her daughter is only interested in this boy to have money, which is
Yeah.
like such a fucked up thing to think for your
And her
own
mom
daughter.
basically calls Adrian a fling. She says, guys like him don't want girls like us. And points out that Adrian hasn't even said he loves her. So how can she be so sure about a future with him, right?
Yeah, just putting the doubt in her brain, being like he's gonna she already has it in her mind
Yeah.
too, like he's gonna get rid of me when he no longer wants me.
Yeah.
So it's even more feeding that she's like, yeah, you're right. I guess you're not right, Mom, but you're also right. And
Exactly.
I hate that.
100%.
So she's like, you can leave now. You've done what you wanted. Like just go away. Like
100%.
I'm letting you off of the whole boyfriend duty. And he doesn't want to go away.
No, exactly.
But they do talk about, like, he's like, I could see how, you don't have a good relationship with your mom. And she's like, yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
And they have, more bonding time, which is sweet.
They don't do anything that night, though.
No, they do not. Nope.
No.
They just have more talking about, like, hey, these are the ugly parts of me. And, like, don't they, like, scare you? And then, like, and vice versa. He's saying, like, doesn't that scare you too?
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing the things of me.
Exactly.
And no, neither of them are backing down from how they
Exactly.
feel.
And then the next day, Poppy receives a text from Rick about a school paper that arrived in the mail. Poppy's like, well, can you send me a picture of it? And Rick's like, no, it's on the table. So Poppy makes plans to go. Adrian's like, well, I'll call a car for us. We can go together. And she's like, no, I'll just go alone. After that explosive argument with her mom, she's kind of like, don't want to interact with her anymore, right?
Yeah, you just wait here and
Yeah.
I'll come back. And yeah, then we go there and find out it's not working right.
So
Dun,
she's searching
dun,
the kitchen,
dun.
doesn't find the paper, heads out to the garage, and Ian Creasy's there.
Holding a knife.
Oh yeah, like whoa.
Holy crap.
Brandishing a knife.
I was so scared for her.
Yeah, me too.
Because she's a tiny little girl. Ian and them are the same age, but a man and a
Yeah,
woman.
exactly.
So I was nervous for her. How the hell is she gonna get out of this?
And she's like, what's going on? Ian's basically, you know why I'm here, Poppy.
Yeah, don't
You know
play
what I
dumb.
mean?
Yeah, and
Basically, he wants the truth. You know, like he wants to hear her admit it.
yeah, he wants her to say, like, you need to tell me you cheated.
Yeah.
I need to hear it from your lips.
100%. He reveals he couldn't stop thinking about their last conversation, and he remembered her hair. That's how she realized she was there that day. She was sitting in the back.
Yes. Yeah. I remember your hair. Where is it? If I tell, so she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
If I tell you, are you going to let me go? And he says, well, we'll see you till we get to the end of the story. And
Yeah.
yeah,
He wants to know how she did it. She confesses she put orange juice in another girl's water to
Was
trigger
allergic.
an allergic reaction so she could switch the tests.
he's like, you're going to try and kill her?
Yeah.
She's like, no, it wasn't. Like, my intent was not to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I knew she had an EpiPen.
Yeah.
I knew she would be okay. It was never my intention for her to get super, super sick.
Yeah, exactly. Ian's pissed, says she ruined his life.
Yeah, like, what the hell? Do you know what you've done to me? Like, you've stolen my life.
Yeah.
And fair, Ian's allowed to feel the
Yeah.
way he's feeling because she has
Definitely.
ruined his
She
life.
robbed him.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's like, you just, okay, turn me in. Okay, like, just
Yeah.
please turn me in. Like, they'll, Lionswood will understand. And he's like, nope.
Nope, not
He's
happening.
like, they're too rich. They're just going to cover this up.
Exactly.
They're not going to care. I'm not going to get what I want.
Exactly.
And she's like, well, then go to the press.
Yeah.
Go to the press, make a huge deal out of it.
Yeah.
And she's trying to say anything she can say to get out of this situation because she just knows that, like, he's going to murder me.
Yes. And he forces her to confess everything on video.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is kind of where Poppy's getting, like, consumed by panic. She's like, basically like, my life is over. Everything I've worked for, everything down the drain if this video comes out, right?
Yep. She's starting to spiral, being like, oh my God, I can't let him go through this.
Yes.
I can't. And he, like, somehow turns away and she swings and
Yeah, she reaches
knocks him.
behind her, grabs a wrench, and smashes his head.
Ooh. I thought he was.
Damn,
I thought he was
girl.
dead.
Yeah, immediately.
I was like, that's a hard blow to the head.
Yeah.
And she calls Adrian. Who else are you gonna call?
Exactly.
Then a murderer.
100%. Perfect guy to call.
But her wishes is like, look, I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
Help him.
Yeah.
Please help him. Let's call 911. I
Yeah.
don't want this on my head.
Yes.
And then she's like, he pulled a knife on me. He goes, what?
Yeah.
Like, he pulled a
was
knife on you?
Mad. Not impressed.
No, Adrian. And I thought he was gonna start bashing his
Yeah, so did I.
I thought he was gonna be like-
I thought he was immediately gonna kill him.
Yes.
honestly,
Me too.
Yeah.
But she's doesn't want Ian to die.
No.
She's like, I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
No, we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And Ian's idea is for like, okay, we'll blackmail. Like,
yeah, exactly. Adrian offers him nearly $1 million, what it would have costed to get into Lionswood. And there's one condition: Ian must keep his mouth shut and pretend it was just an accident.
Yep. And, having a person with money and a guy with no money,
Yeah.
Ian accepts.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised Adrian wanted to leave a loose end.
I
But I guess
know.
if you're that wealthy,
Yeah.
that it's pretty easy to make the person go
And
bye-bye
he
anyway.
also says at the end, I think he says something along the lines of, in like 5 years or 10 years from now, and you want more money, which I know you will, he's like, I'm going to tell you that's a very bad idea. Right? Like,
that's
basically,
right.
I will kill you. Which I kind of think will be touched on in the second book. I think something's going to happen there.
Oh.
I think.
That's a great,
That
great,
just
yeah.
when I read that, I was like, And then after I read like the ending, I was
Yes.
like, okay.
Oh, that's
So
a
I
great.
put that in the back of my mind.
That's so smart. We'll have to keep an eye on
Yeah.
that. Because
So I was like,
it makes sense. Why would in this world where Adrian didn't want anything to come out that, and especially because he really is obsessed and likes Poppy,
Yeah.
that you would leave Ian as a loose end for her.
Exactly.
You're right.
So I was like, interesting.
So yeah, she's not feeling good. She's like, oh my God, the attempted murder, blackmail. Like she's starting to like become nauseous and grow. Like she's like, I can't deal with this. Like this is too much. This might be good for you, but it's not good for me. Like I don't like this having this much on someone.
Yes.
And she's like, I almost killed someone.
Yeah,
She's realizing I
exactly.
almost fucking murdered
Yeah.
a person.
100%.
Like this is not me. And then she's just starting to feel guilty.
Basically like, oh my gosh, like what if your parents realize that money's gone? You know what I mean? And Jen's like, it's a drop in the bucket. No big deal.
Yeah.
He's like, don't worry about me.
She's like, I've lied to the dean. I've lied to my mother. I've lied to everyone but you. And yet I am terrified that if I let you see every dark, twisted part of me, you'll want to flee. Which I'm like, girl,
He's a
what's-
murderer.
Yeah.
Like,
What more
you
dark or
just
twisted
lied.
part of you compared to
You
him?
just lied. Like, not that big of a deal.
And she's just trying to like, console her, being like, look, no, I'm not
Yeah.
going to go anywhere.
Exactly.
I like you and you like me. We can make this work. And then because she keeps talking about like, having this darkness as like a weakness. But he's like, your darkness makes you strong. It brought you to
Yes.
Lionswood and to me. Do you think we'd be drawn to each other as we are if there wasn't something broken inside of you, sweetheart? You don't hide as well as you think you do. I haven't always known what's broken, but I've known what's in there. I've known your darkest. Oh, Adrian. And this is where they get, I think this is where they get steamy, right?
This is the spicy scene.
Spicy. And they finally get together. 'Cause before it was just a kiss.
It was just kissing, yeah. So I was like, oh, they finally do it. And Adrian kind of tells her, like, he's never been sexually attracted to anyone before.
Yeah.
But she's different.
Before it was just sex. It was just like a series of chemicals. That's how you like put it into his head.
Yeah.
Like it was just a chemical reaction.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then during, he makes her promise to go to Harvard with him.
Yes!
Like,
Another goddamn manipulation, man.
I was like, oh my God. And he also promises to give her the world. He's like, cars, you name it, it's yours.
Yeah, this was a very like, it was very cute. Like sexy and spicy.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
It was cute.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and he just blatantly says it out though. He's like, it doesn't matter if you change your mind. It doesn't matter if you wake up one day and decide you hate me. I'll never let you go.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. He's like, doesn't
You're
matter who I have to
mine.
kill. I'll break
Exactly.
into 20 pieces and rebuild you myself. If it means I get to keep you, you're never leaving me, sweetheart. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
like,
a lot.
Okay.
Like, I know you just like, you've killed someone, but then for someone to say that to you, like, that's a lot. And it jumps time.
Yes. 3 months later. They're basically talking about post post-school plans. You know, Adrian's like basically like your Harvard acceptance letter will be here any day now.
Yeah, she's nervous. She's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, like, what if I don't get into it?
Excitement's buzzing among the students.
And she runs into Sophie again.
Yes. Basically saying her and Adrian won't last.
Yeah.
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 You're
Basically
they're
putting it
from
back in her face again.
Yes.
Right?
They're not from the same social class. They, you know. And Poppy fires back, which I was like, yes, girl.
Hell yeah.
She says he wasn't worried about her pedigree while he was fucking her last night. I love that.
Love it. Good for you. And it's true. But it's still putting, like, chipping away at her brain.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm still not, I'm still
that
different.
doubt, right?
Yes. So, yeah. More confirmation in her brain of like, yeah, like what am I doing with this guy?
Exactly.
This is not going to work.
Yeah.
And she like confronts him with this. She goes like, you know, what until the day that you no longer want me?
Yeah.
Like, and it's valid.
100%.
Like, and he's like, no, but we wouldn't. He's like, no, but she's like, but what if we did?
Yeah,
like, what would that happen?
yeah.
You could take Harvard away from me in an instant.
Exactly.
And my life would be done.
Dunzos.
Like this, like I don't feel comfortable because I'm always gonna be on edge.
Yeah, he'll always hold something over her.
And so at this moment, did you think she was going to like not go? I think from this conversation, I was like, okay,
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I didn't think she was going to go with him.
Same.
Just because there was only a few pages left in the book, so I was like, yeah, I don't think she's going to go with him.
Yeah, me too.
There's
from
too
this
many,
conversation,
like, loose ends still, you know what I mean? So I was like,
but then she said like, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
If you tell me you love me.
you love me.
If you tell me you love me.
Because her mom's words were echoing in her mind. He didn't even say he loves you, right?
And she's like, that's just all I need, just 3 words. And yeah, if we're truly meant to be together, and he's like, we are meant to be there, then tell me you love me like I love you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He can't feel that emotion.
Yeah, he's like, love's not an emotion I can identify with. And she's like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't feel it, just say it to me.
I know. And then basically he's like, those are just words. You know how I feel about you. And this is kind of where Poppy realizes they have limerence, not love.
I know, which I never heard of the word limerence before.
Yeah.
And I love how that was connected to the title of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not love, it's limerence.
Yes.
It's not patient, it's not always kind, it's not selfish, it's as dark and as twisted as I am. And she's thinking, well, it's not love.
Yeah. And
I
that's all
want
she wants.
love.
100%.
Oh, graduation day. They're graduating, and everyone's gonna be splitting up their ways. And oh god,
Poppy leaves
yeah, she
without a word
yeah.
to board her flight to Pratt.
And he's texting her. He's texting her like, "Hey, where are you?
Yeah.
I like where you go. Like, I'm gonna start realizing where you are.
Yes.
Text me back." And she just knows like I can't, or he's gonna convince me.
Exactly.
I have to get on that plane.
Yes.
And she does.
Yeah.
And then that's when she talks to him.
Yeah, she answers the phone. She says she loves him, but can't be with him unless he says it back.
Yeah. Yeah. She tells him I love you, and I just. Yeah, and unfortunately, you didn't say those words to me.
No.
And I have to go do something on my own.
Exactly. And this is kind of where he's like, well, there's no going back, you know?
Yeah, just telling her, like, you're doing this,
Yeah.
but it's not going to make me go away.
Exactly.
Like, I'm still going to find you.
Yep.
And that's
So
it.
We belong together. It's forever. He warns she can run, but he'll find her. And when he does, he'll collect his prize. And this doesn't scare or terrify her.
No.
This thrills her.
Yes.
I'm excited
Ooh, cat
for
and
the
mouse.
second book.
Me too. Like, everything's just ramping up.
Yeah.
She's getting on her own, going to go to college, you're going to go get older.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see where it's going to go.
Me too. And apparently it takes place 10 years later.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
interesting. Does your rating still stand? 4.5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still a 4.
Yeah. I really love the characters, and I liked how Poppy wasn't that like angel, good girl who like immediately was all over him or doing what he says. Like there's always that kind of push and pull, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And just yeah, Adrian's character too, how he wasn't he was a villain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he kept the same from the beginning to
Yeah.
end. We saw softer parts of him,
Yes.
but he was still the same guy.
Yeah,
He still had that
100%.
darkness in him, and he wasn't going to fault for that.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I like how
Yeah.
both characters didn't become totally different.
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
switch. They stayed who they were.
100%.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you might be. I think you might be onto something with the whole Ian thing for the next book.
Yeah.
10 years, she's still rising. Ian is still
Yeah.
where he is.
Exactly.
I wonder what's going to happen.
I know. It was just when he said that in the book, I was like, I think he's going to show up in the second book.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really enjoyed this little dark romance. It was a nice,
Yeah.
perfect little introduction for people
Yes.
who have never read it.
Yeah, I was surprised there's only like one spicy scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are,
Which is nice.
They are in high school.
Yeah,
I don't know if this
exactly.
is a YA because they don't really talk. Anyways, I don't know if it's a YA. I can't remember now. But yeah, I like that. It felt natural.
Yes.
It didn't feel pushed
Yeah,
or forced.
exactly.
It felt like a good progression. So yeah, I thought this book was really well done.
Yeah, me too.
For an author.
First novel.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing. And I'm definitely excited for the second.
Yeah, me too. July 1st, I think it was. If not July 1st, just July of 2025. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
Okay, guys, what was your rating for Limerence? Did you have the same feelings? Did you like the characters? Was it too of a slow burn? Was it too dark, not dark enough? Let us know.
Oh, and before we go, we do need to announce our next book.
Yes.
For the month of May, All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles.
A book came in, I think, 2024, 2025. It's a very, very recent.
Sometimes the last thing you expect is exactly what you need, the final missing piece. And sometimes it comes in the form of a towering, broody sheriff determined to get in your way at every step. Riley Sawyer knows what it's like to miss someone, to feel like a piece of her vanished, because it happened to her the night her twin sister disappeared. Now Riley channels that loss into hope, traveling the country, covering cold cases for her true crime podcast. She might not have found justice for her sister, but that doesn't stop her from finding it for others. Until Sheriff Coulter Brooks gets in her way. Colt knows what it's like to have reporters descend on his town in the wake of a tragedy, and he's not about to let a fiery podcaster stir up trouble. It doesn't matter what her haunting blue eyes tell him. There's more to Ridley's story, or that he can't stop imagining what it would be like to touch her. But when Riley's cold case turns hot and she's thrust into the crosshairs, Colt has no choice but to step in. Suddenly, Riley's living at his house, drinking his whiskey, and stealing his dog's affections. But she's also proving that she's so much more than his first impression. And as they get closer to the truth, the game they've been playing might just turn deadly.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's like
gonna be
thriller.
a little mysterious, little romance.
Romantic.
Love it.
Adults.
Yes. Enough of the 19-year-olds.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out what next book. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is just like a one-off.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe.
Standalone.
Yeah. So something different. Because, yeah, I think it's a cute premise.
Yeah, I like
Podcaster,
it. Little podcaster,
van,
true crime.
travel.
Love it.
Cute. Well, follow us on Fable for May's book club, so you can follow along and read the book with us. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited.
I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it probably is. Okay, well, that ends it here. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.